best Halloween wishes from us all. And thank you, my dear friend, for joining. We have one viewer. I'm happy. As you see, we're all Halloweeny. We have a pumpkin. I can put the pumpkin on because it, and he wants to go down. Jerry, oh, he's so sweet. I just grabbed him to greet my viewers. He wasn't fast enough. He's too fat. But I will put on the pumpkin right now. Ta-da! Ah, your blood machine. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's on now. And Jerry is sitting here. I will show it. There he is. So, yeah, I hope you're all in good spirits, in holiday spirits. And well, you see me sitting here in a sweater. Not a very thick one, but a sweater. And the mayor's chain, rattle, rattle, skeleton. Well, I'm a little bit Halloweenish dressed, but too warm. Outside we have 25 Celsius plus. It is, it's like summer. It's not like springtime or like early autumn. It's really like summer. And yesterday I ran around in shorts because it was even warm. It was 26, 27 or so. The pool is closed because in the night it gets cooler, not very much cooler, but a little bit. So the air is too, the water is too cold. And I don't want to put on the pump because of energy crisis and all that. I made several rants in my past videos, so you know what I think about that. No, you can't swim anymore. So, okay, the pool is closed and remains closed. But some days ago, I opened it just to look what's happening. And there was a celebration of worms. There were worms, water worms. I don't know the English term. It's in German, it's called Regenwürmer. And the pool was full of Regenwürmer, of happy little worms like this. They only come out when it's yeah, coolish, rainy. That's why in German rainworms. Do you say rainworms in England and America? I don't know. But the pool was filled with them, with some drowned spiders. This one, the big sized one. They were drowned, okay, they were dead. The worms were very alive and happy, and they were unhappy when I fished them out, of course. But it's weird. I mean, yeah, tomorrow is Halloween. It's the end of October, and as I said, it's summer, 25 degrees plus. I think we never had that before, not at the end of October. At the end of September, we had maybe 20, 21 degrees some years back, but not like this. So it would be crazy for September, but it's even crazier for October, which almost is November. In 2 days, we have the 1st of November. And they already said, the anchorman, the weatherman, and women, I'm gendering, they said, yeah, it will be even warmer in the 1st November week. Yeah, I think my next live stream, I will start with a bikini on or a bathing suit or whatever, and a caipirinha in my hand, and instead of eggnog, and I will say, hello, my friends, welcome to the pool party. We decided to open it up again. It's absolutely crazy. And well, bye-bye. The one viewer I had, it's gone now. He or she doesn't want to hear about the weather, maybe, but it's not a very interesting subject, but it's very unusual in Germany at this time of year. Yeah, absolutely crazy. The good thing is, in my past videos, as I said, I ranted about the high energy prices. The good thing is you don't have to put on heating. It's so hot, you open up all the windows you get. I even put the shutters down. That's why I'm sitting here in half darkness, because it's so hot and so extremely sunny. There's not a one cloud in the sky. That's on top of that, on top of the heat. and it's not a humid heat, it's a dry summer heat. On top of that, you have a totally cloudless sky. There's just sunshine. As I said, it's like July or the beginning of August. It's high summer and not a cloud. And we didn't have rain for, I think, 2 weeks. And the garden, don't ask me how the garden looks like. What the garden looks like. It's full of clover. Clover and some other weed, which I don't know the name of. It's looks like clover, but it's not clover. It's separate little leaves. When you tear out clover, you have the root and the little tiny twigs, and then it's gone. This other weed, this clover-like weed, it looks similar, but as I said, it's all separate little leaves, and you tear them out one by one. Yeah, you can already use tweezers. They're very tiny, and yeah, you tear out one. Next day, instead of one, you have 10 or 20. So I just leave it be. The gardener has given up. He came, he saw, and he didn't conquer, but he left. He phoned me in the evening and said, yeah, I was at your house, at your garden. I look, nothing to do. We have to wait for cold temperatures, maybe November, December, January, whenever. And then we hope that the weeds will die. And if not, we will salt your garden. Oh my God. I said, yeah, but when you salt the garden, everything is dead. I said, yeah, I'm just joking. Of course, no, we won't put salt in there. But we have to think of something. Even also wirklich ein richtig guter Gärtner, a real good gardener, a professional gardener, he resigned. He said, we leave it as it is. You're not the only one. All the other gardens, absolutely the same, which is true. Whenever I take Chica for a stroll, I look in the other gardens and yards, the same. You have people standing there looking down on their once perfect lawn and gently sobbing. It's, yeah. Yeah, that's, I feel warm in that sweater, but I won't take it off. I like the color, it's so Halloween-like. And yeah, as you see, the pumpkin and the little tablecloth, it's all the same color scheme, so I'll leave it on. But believe me, I'd rather sit here in a t-shirt. Just, I think, yeah, half an hour ago, I looked out of the window, heard some voices, loud voices. There was a big group of cyclists, of course, enjoying the fantastic weather. It's wonderful. It's Sunday, and it's a weather, in Germany you say, a weather to lay eggs. Ein Wetter zum Eierlegen. And of course, these people, the Nordic walkers, they're all on the road. And yeah, as I said, the cyclists, they were dressed in short trousers, t-shirts without sleeves, and they were sweating. They were going slow. I saw that. That's why I heard that chatter and the roar-up of their voices. But sweating and yeah, crazy. So this time I greet you with this. Do you see that? Not when I hold it up. You see the kitty cats? Cheers, my dears. I have no viewers now. I just go on, and if nobody joins, I will put an end to that in 5 minutes or so, because my last live stream, my goodness, I had more people. I had, I think, rather interesting subjects to talk about, and I guess it was 2.5 hours long. It was much too long. And thank you very much for your patience, by the way, with that stream. But today we'll keep it shorter, of course. Yes, and thank you very much, when you see that stream later on, for your friendly comments under my Drachenschanze building video. You know, this little house which I built in my previous videos, the Dragon's Lair, where I said, oh God, I don't know, it's a model kit which says Drachenschanze, Dragon's Lair, but there's no dragon inside, or no dragon painted on the door. I don't know why. So you guessed it, it was a gift. Of course, I don't ask the giver what is exactly that, because my friend who gave it to me She said, no, when you find out, you know how much I spent for this little model kit, and I don't want that, it's a gift. And hello, I have a viewer. Welcome. Hi. And so, okay, that was that behind it. But I got so curious, I wanted to know, what is the Drachenschanze? Why is it called that way? So I made a little online research, of course. Hello, Auntie Google. And I found out that the Drachenschanze, the Dragon's Lair, is a nickname of a house which has been torn down. I already mentioned that. I think this March, yes, in spring sometime. And this house was inhabited by a German. I have to be careful because it's a gentleman who had an online presence for many, I think 10 or 11 years, and who was very disputed. There were fans of him, and there were people who were critical of his actions, because he was very outgoing and very extrovert, and he put all the little private things of his life he put online. And so people began to write funny comments, and he wrote funny comments back. And then in not a fit of rage, no, it was, I think he had 100 subscribers or so. It's many years back. And this gentleman, he in his channel, in YouTube channel, he said, I will sign some posters for you, and please come to this and this address. And he made that public, which is unfortunate, to say the least, because then his fans came. He wanted to sell posters. He sold posters. He had a little chit chat with his friends or fans, internet friends. All was well and happy until the people who were critical of him, who always said, don't put all your private themes or so and topics on the internet. There are other platforms. Please don't do that. There are also children watching, and you never know. And I say these people who are critical, they came also because he, as I said, he told his address. Just as I'm speaking to you now, he was speaking to his 50 subscribers and several other people, thousands, millions worldwide, and he said his address. And so the critical people also came. And then things, they turned unpleasant. He began to shout at them. They shouted back, and they were on his ground. He made this poster sale on his own ground. He still had that house, the house which I built, the Drachenschanze, the Dragon's Lair. It was his own, as I said, his own ground. And on his own ground, he was attacked, and of course he attacked back. And it was hither, it was very, very confusing. And since that day, of course, people knew where he lived. And then he made a video after that, and criticized the people who criticized him. He criticized them back in rather harsh words. And then the people, of course, they put comments below his video, also in rather harsh words. And they were insulting each other, in fact, insulting each other in the comment section. And well, even I, with my little housewife channel, I get some strange comments, not insulting ones, but some strange comments. Or you all have YouTube channels, you know, there are some bots who say, come and see our beautiful brunettes, come and see our lovely blondes. I put that very, very, as I said, correctly, you know which bots I mean. And as soon as I see that in my comment section, they're off. I kick them out. YouTube has a very, very good correction system, puts these comments away automatically, and if not, I'll do the rest. So my comment section, I really look, everything is okay. We're one happy community, and we're all nice to each other. And this gentleman, as I said, he didn't do that. He instead of deleting these stupid comments, he answered. And if the comment was insulting, his answer was even more insulting. And by the way, the gentleman's name was, I won't repeat it here, because I think my German viewers, they know who it is. And he's known as the Drachenlord. the Lord of the Dragons or the Dragon Lord. It is a name he had given himself because he is very or was very interested in metal or heavy metal and everything that goes with it, like this gear and tattoos and wild hairdos and in his earlier years, of course. But now the man is 33, but when he was 23, 24, it was his thing. Heavy metal or death metal, everything metal. And in his house, he streamed from his attic, I guess. He had several posters of dragons. And I think that gave him the inspiration to call himself the Dragon Lord, because behind me you see all these posters with dragons, but I'm the biggest dragon of them all. He's tall and in every way he's big. He's big like this and big like this. They said, I'm the top dragon, I'm the Dragon Lord. And from that point on, he was known as the Dragon Lord. And the house he lived in was called the Dragon's Lair by the people who criticized him. They made fun of his house and said, you're the dragon, and your house is the Dragon's Lair. It was very untidy, I must say that. If you Google it or if you search for it on YouTube, if you search for Drachenschanze or Drachenlord, hello, my dear. Oh, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining me. I'm just explaining the history of the Drachenschanze, of the little house. And so it was meant to be derogatory, this term, Drachenschanze, Dragon's Lair. And yeah, I think the Dragon Lord, he never quite liked it. He liked the term Dragon Lord, of course, but Dragon's Lair, no. But I have seen the old footage. And before the house was torn down, as I said, there were several streams made from there. Hello, my dear. Oh, das freut mich. Dankeschön. Thank you very much. And you will see that it was untidy. I think he inherited that house from his father, who passed away, unfortunately, at a rather young age. And when the Dragon Lord inherited his house and some other minor buildings on the ground, he was around 21 or 22. He was a very, very young man with a very, very big responsibility. And I think his mother and sister, they inherited too, but other things. Hello, my dear. Willkommen. Welcome. Dankeschön. And I must say, I inherited the house too, but then I was much, much older. With 22, I think I would have asked my parents, or my mother in that case, what shall I do? What about all these taxes I have to pay? I think I would have consulted a lawyer, somebody to help me, because it's a very big responsibility, a rather big house, a big ground, some other buildings at the age of 21, 22. And well, he didn't do that. He said, I don't need any help. Mommy, thank you. And sister, thank you for your offering of help, but I can do it all on my own. I can do it alone. And as I said, his mother and sister, they inherited too, not the house, but I think some acres or so, I don't know, ground. So, and he had the real estate. And so he tried to do his best at the age of, as I said, 21, 22, which is quite a feat. But unfortunately, he didn't succeed because even the city he lived in, they offered help. And he said, no, thank you, but I can manage it all alone. I don't need your help. I'm the self-declared Dragon Lord. And a Dragon Lord is something different than some humans. I'm a dragon. So he refused help. And he lived all alone there and he had no job. So he was streaming or doing videos day and night and day. And put everything, even the more intimate moments in the shower. And I know that my video is watched by younger people too. That can I say, things you do in the shower, or that he did in the shower, I think yeah, it's private. It's not meant to be published worldwide. But the Dragon Lord did that. He said, okay, I'm okay with that. I have, as I said, no intimacy. Everybody can know everything from me. I put it all in the internet. And that's when yeah, things started to even get worse. As I said, he had his fans who thought his videos were very funny. And I think his early videos, I have watched some of them, they were quite funny. He has a very cute dialect of Middle Franconia, Mittelfranken. I have some friends from Mittelfranken, not from where he lived, but from farther away. And Nürnberg, to say Nürnberg in German. Yeah, yes, it's a cute dialect. Ne? In High German, you would say Nürnberg to this city, but the Middle Franconians, they say Nürnberg. And it's a soft, a nice, I like to hear it. It's a very beautiful dialect. And that's why I watch his earlier videos with pleasure, because oh, he has a funny way to talk, but it's okay. It's a dialect. And well, there are several others who also thought these videos were funny. The very early videos where he, I think he imitated some heavy metal guitarists, and he even bought himself a very expensive guitar and tried to learn the guitar in front of his viewers. It was all very nice and funny in the beginning, until, as I already mentioned, until, yeah, the Dragon Lord began to put everything up and to publish everything on the internet. That I think YouTube put down his channel, and he got a warning to say, well, if you have content for adult viewers, please put it on platforms which are especially for adult viewers. Don't put them on YouTube. Yeah, we are a family-friendly platform. Yeah, generally speaking, it's like it is. But there are other platforms, I won't mention their names, but you can put your more private videos there. And it's okay. Here you do your heavy metal stuff, and on the other platforms you do your more, as I said, the adult content you put there. And oh, he also did some gaming, but harmless gaming, like Zelda or so, which is also okay for YouTube. So YouTube sent him this and said, okay, we put down your channel. It's a warning. I think his channel was put down for a week or two or so, for a very, very short time. And okay, and then he did just that. The Dragon Lord, he opened up accounts on other as adult platforms where he could put his stuff. Also no problem. The stuff, I never watched it because I'm not into this kind of thing, but judging from the reactions, it must be very weird. They're very kinky, I don't know. And okay, then he opened a TikTok account and everything. And the years went on. And the Dragon's Lair, to come back to the little house I built, which is now a Christmas cottage, well, his house got untidier and untidier, like a, well, in German you say messy, because his house looked like a mess. And people who make their living environment look like a mess, in German they're called messies. I don't know the English. I think in English it's not messy, it's some other term. But you get what I mean. It was untidy, and there was vermin, I think, running. He had some people visiting him, and they saw rats in the courtyard, and they said, "Oh, are these your pet rats?" No, 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 that's normal. Oh yeah, and then yes. Now I come to the interesting part. As I said, he had in the first years he was successful with YouTube, and then later on with the other accounts and the other platforms. He had his fans and his viewers, his friends, as I said. But the more and more he posted, the more and more he got kind of conceited, because he had so much subscribers. He started out with 50, 100. As I said, he already made this poster sale. He had about 50 or 100 subscribers, which is very, very early stage. When I had 100 subscribers, I made a special video where I was standing in the hallway and yelling and saying, "Oh, thank you, I'm so happy, 100 viewers, you're the best." And the Dragon Lord, he invited people to come to his house and buy posters, which, as I said, is a mistake. You cannot give away your address. Okay, but that was a little bit later. And then, so as I said, he started to get a little bit over the water. Yes, I'm the not only the Dragon Lord, I'm the YouTube Lord, I'm the TikTok Lord. I could do everything. He had then he had 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. There is a very, very interesting, unfortunately it's only in German, it's a very interesting series. It's called Der Einzige, the only one. It's made by an Austrian gentleman who is into this subject of the Drachenlord, I think for about 1 or 2 years, a very short time. And he makes, he made a chronicle, he made a chronicle from Dragonlord's childhood, babyness, childhood, until his later years. It's a series, it comes out once a week, and it's rather short, 40 or 30 or 40 minutes maximum. And he is very neutral. He doesn't take any sides. He just reports the facts about Dragonlord and how he came to be what he is now. So if we have German viewers who are interested in this subject, as I said, the channel Der Einzige mit CH, wichtig, weil mittelfränkisch. Kann ich empfehlen, ist wirklich neutral und gut berichtet, ist wie gesagt eine Chronik eigentlich der Ereignisse und auch schön erzählt. Wer Werner Herzog liebt, der liebt auch den Einzigen. Das ist so dieselbe Machart. Sehr schön und ruhig erklärt. Okay, so and then I have to get it all together because I'm new in that subject myself. It's very entertaining, to say the least. And as I said, he got bigger and bigger. He got more and more subscribers. 100,000, 200,000. There were people, of course, who said he buys all his subscribers. I don't know about that, but the fact is he had, I think, last year almost 400,000 subscribers, which is, for me, it's wow, it's like a jackpot. Yeah, it's great. And but unfortunately, the most of the people who were his subscribers were not friends or people who just like to watch his videos or whatever, but there were those people who were critical and who wrote bad comments. And they wrote, of course, they were provocative. They wrote something in the comments which he didn't like, and he jumped on that. As I said earlier, if you have something like that, you can just delete the comment or answer in a moderate way to say, okay, I get your point, but please watch your language. Yeah, I like to have a family-friendly channel. Please don't use these words, but otherwise you're most welcome. Please post more comments. But as I said, in a normal language. Yeah, you either answer like that, or if the language is too bad and you see it's a troll who's just insulting, yeah, you just you play the snitch to YouTube and say, oh, look, they're insulting me all the time, and then you delete the comments and it's over. But no, the Dragonlord, he answered each comment, and even worse, if the comment was insulting, he was more insulting. Then the answer was even more insulting, and as people knew where he lived, as I said, these poster sale, they came to his place, and because he answered in his comment section. Yeah, he did that, but by insulting people. When they said, please don't put that intimate stuff to YouTube, put it on your other accounts, but not here. Instead of saying, yeah, you're right, I already had trouble with YouTube, I won't do that anymore, you're right, it's okay, sorry. Instead of doing that, he got insulting and said, you son of a whatever, a female dog, what are you doing here? If you don't like it, you can press the X button, then the video will disappear. And if you don't like me, it's your problem, not mine. And I am the Dragonlord, I am who I am. And of course, people were provoked. They said, okay, there were also people who wanted to help him, who didn't insult him and nothing, who just said, I like your videos, I like your content, but I have one or two things I think I can help you with. But you, how dare you? It's I don't know if he is related to Greta Thunberg, but how dare you? I can't live here anymore in peace and quiet because you get on my nerves. And okay, he was quite choleric about that. So people decided to visit him and ring the bell and say, hello, I'm your friend from YouTube. I just have one or two questions. And so as I said, so one or two people started to visit him. And instead of, I mean, it's okay, he gave away his address, it's his fault. But people came to visit him, which I think in a civil manner is also okay. Instead of going out and say, okay, come to my home, to my house, we can sit in the courtyard, we have some beer if you like, or whatever, you can have a cigarette, some chit chat, it's okay. Instead of doing that, he began to yell at them and to call the police. And then the police came, and he shouted, and the visitors shouted, and the police didn't know what to do. So, was anyone harmed? No. This is just these people get on my nerves talking to me. And so the police asked the people, why are you talking to him? Yeah, he posted the address in the internet, and we have some questions, and we like to talk to him. Yeah, have you been invited? No, but we did not do anything. We just standing here and trying to talk to him. And there are some videos which, as I said, it's for an innocent bystander such as me, it's entertaining, to say the least. Okay, so the police drove off. What shall I do? And the people who visited him, they made a video, of course. Yeah, and they posted it online. And all the others, they said, oh, you cannot provoke him. You cannot only provoke him on the internet, you can provoke him also in real life. So let's all get into our cars and drive to his home. And the Dragon Lord then had quite a fan management to do. But it was not his fans, it was his, as he called them, haters. He said, okay, these are people who don't support me, they are not friendly to me, they don't like me for the person who I am. Everything I do, they make fun of, and they insult me, and they insult my family, and they're haters. But he didn't say haters. It's also in German, you call these people haters. But he had, as I said, these fine, I like that, this accent, this middle Franconian accent. So he didn't say haters, but haters. Haters. They're all haters, and the haters come and they want to destroy me. He got to a sort of paranoia, shall I call it? I don't know. So these people were not anymore people who were critical of him, people who we just didn't like, but they were haters who wanted to destroy him. And from then on, his videos became more and more focused on these haters. I won't say haters all the time because it's, as I said, it's dialect. Haters. Haters were his only content and focus. Starting, I think, from, I don't know, 20, rather early, I think, 2014, 2015, I think from that time on, he had less and less content. As I said, in former times, he made some headbanging and he talked about heavy metal bands. Not into this heavy metal thing at all. I don't know if he's right or wrong, I don't know. But it was quite entertaining. The few minutes I watched were entertaining. And then he made some role play and made some fun with his name, the Dragon Lord. And he introduced the Dragon Monday, which I liked, because every Monday he wanted to do something dragon related on his channel. Unfortunately, it had not many, it was a success, but only for the so-called haters. So he dropped this format after a while. But I like the idea of a Dragon Monday. So he had good ideas and funny ideas. And as I said, the very early videos were, in my opinion, rather funny, very cute. But then he got more and more, as I said, conceited and very, very self-aware, and I'm better than the others, and I work day and night only for my channels, and especially for my YouTube channels. And but I do have, yes, 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers. Thank you all, my dears. But I can't enjoy it. I don't have any free, peaceful moment because of the haters. And the haters, they destroy my life. They come to visit me. They put bad reviews under my videos, and they make my life a nuisance without end. And the more these haters read that, these comments, and heard that, he had a lot of live streams where he just said that, in no uncertain terms, to be sure. They, of course, they laughed their heads off. They said, oh, he's absolutely triggered by everything we do. Let's do more. So instead of 2 or 3 people visiting his place, you had hundreds. I guess sometimes he woke up, especially on fine weekends such as these, he woke up, looked out of the window, and there were 50 or 60 people in front of his house, and hello, Drachenlord, we will come to visit you. We brought beer, we brought cake. And it's that he called the police all the time, because things then got even worse when certain people, haters, I guess, who else, started to do some B&E, which is not correct, of course. Yeah, they climbed over his fence, and they smashed in some windows from the outside. Although it's hard to say. I mean, at that state, in 2016, 2017, the house was in such a bad state. It didn't look as nice as my little model, but it was practically run down. There was not a, I think, yeah, no window without some glass damage. So you can't tell if he, as I said, a choleric character, and he smashed closed some windows. There are some videos of that. And then you heard just glass splintering. So it could be he, it could be the haters, whoever, yeah. Or maybe some lightning from, even God is a hater maybe, and smashed his windows. I don't know. But okay, breaking and entering is never okay. So he had, the right thing to do was to call the police, and he did just that. But he didn't leave it at that. Yeah, he just didn't wait for the police to come and talk to the haters, or to the people committing this B&E. And he didn't wait for that. The police, of course, takes 10 or 15 minutes to arrive. And in the meantime, the Dragon Lord took some big sticks or some axes or whatever he had in his yard, and went outside and began to, or started to threaten the haters, and to say, if you don't go away, I will knock you over with a stick, or I will throw an axe or a hammer to you. And they said, of course, well, try it, come hither. And the Dragon Lord really did that. And he took his stick and tried to beat up a guy. And there's a funny video. The guy, of course, it's like out of a movie, but it's real. It's this guy, he wrenched the stick away from the Dragon Lord's hands. And, well, he defended himself, which Dragon Lord's own stick, and he hit out a tooth. Dragon Lord, since that time, has one missing tooth. He never had it made. I don't know why. If something happened to me, like, I'm not like the Dragon Lord, oh my God, but if someone hit me and I would lose a tooth, of course, I would wait for the trial to be over, just to show the judge and jury here, you see that. And after that, my first appointment would be with a dentist to give me a new tooth. But the Dragon Lord never did that. Although he had money, as I said, he had a very, very big YouTube channel, was very big on other channels too. So he had really some €1,000 a month without practically working. He said, yes, I'm working on all my videos. It's a lot of work. You don't understand, but I don't need any university or school already. I'm a self-made man. I'm the Dragon Lord. I don't need to to do anything with my hands, yeah, because it's all in my head, and it's a lot of work which I put into my videos, which, to be honest, yes, in the beginning, yeah, maybe, but later on not. He just sat there, he did a live stream just as I'm doing now, and he just talked about his haters, from the beginning to the end. And sometimes he followed his live chat, more often not, but sometimes he read what people wrote, and he picked out, of course, the critical comments. He said, he's inciting me again, and I know who you are, and I will drag you in front of the court, I will drag you to the police station if I see you one more time, and then he began interacting in a very funny way, and yeah, of course, you're provoking people, people provoke you back. It's just a spiral. It's a spiral which knows no end, practically. A circulus viciosus, Teufelskreis. And none of the side gave in. The haters had their stand, and the Dragon Lord had his stand. And time went on, and well, he had a lot of money, but he spent it on internet things. As I said, evil tongues. I say he bought his subscribers, whatever. But he bought new computers. Hello, my dear. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining. And he bought computers. He bought graphic cards and whatever you need for a big YouTube station. I don't have one. I have an iPhone 14. This is otherwise no. What you see behind me here is do you see it? That's my home office. That's not my computer. I do have a computer, but I do practically all my things I do with my beloved smartphone. But okay, the Dragon Lord had a big dragon station, so to say. And okay, he spoke about that in his streams. He said, I bought a computer for 5,000 euros, a special gaming laptop for 6,000, and the graphic card for 2,000 or 3,000 and more, thousands. If you hear that. But what he didn't do, he didn't pay his everyday bills, like electricity or water or so. So after a while, he had quite an amount of debt, although he had enough money to pay that. Yeah, and maybe he forgot it or didn't think about it. As I said, he refused help from his friends or relatives or from the city. He said, I can manage everything alone. And he said, I think in the video he said, I got another bill from the Stadtwerke, the electricity bill. And the electricity company, they want to have their money, and I'll pay it later. At the end of the year, I'll pay it later. And of course, the letters, they flowed over and over. And he was inundated by bills and by overdues, but he didn't react. So he had quite a lot of debts some years back. And the house, as I said, was becoming more and more untidy, to say the least. And there are videos of people who visited him, not haters, but normal people, because he also gave some interviews. And one of the interviewers was Kevin Wolter. I think my German viewers know who it is. Kevin Wolter, I think is his name. He is a quite successful YouTube channel himself. And some years back, he came to visit the Dragon Lord, wanted to do an interview with him. And this is also very interesting to see this footage. Because it was not shot by the Dragon Lord, but by Mr. Wolter, which changes the focus a little bit. So you see the house and the kitchen and the bathroom, what it all looks like. My goodness. I'm a big fan of lost places, as you already knew. I have been to some lost places. I have footage which I don't put online because you never know. these lost places belong to someone, and I don't want to raise bad feelings, so I keep it to myself and to my family. And the most part of it has been torn down, of these castles and houses where we had. It's several years back, by the way. But I'm a fan, as I said, of lost places. And I've been to lost places which were in better shape than this dragon's lair, than his house. Incredible. And he lived there. At the time Mr. Walter interviewed him, the Dragon Lord still lived there. And it was all a litter. He practically lived in a litter box, in a giant litter box. But it was incredible. There were sausages lying in the courtyard. And Mr. Walter said, "Oh, da liegt ja eine Wurst. There's a sausage lying on your courtyard." And Dragon Lord, he said, "Yes, I know. Some haters, they threw them over the fence. I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks back." And Mr. Walter said, "Oh, this sausage has been lying there for 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's packed, okay, but it's still, don't you want to put it away?" "I don't know, if I put that away, the haters will throw some other stuff." And believe me, if you watch this video of Mr. Walter with his Dragon Lord interview, you wouldn't believe that a young person, yeah, old persons, yeah, maybe if you're 80 or 90 and you still live on your own, you don't see the litter anymore. Yeah, okay, there are some cases, but the Dragon Lord was in his late 20s, a young man. Now he's 33, still a young man, at least for me. But back then, he must have been around 28 or 29. Oh my goodness. And so Mr. Walter was quite shocked. He played it very well, but he was a little bit shocked when he saw all that. And okay, so you saw this video and you knew, oh, this house doesn't last long anymore. The roof was caving in at some parts. You saw that also in the other buildings on the courtyard, the old shed, and so I think one side of the roof had totally caved in by that time, because the Dragon Lord, he used all the money for technical equipment, but not for maintenance. So yeah, that's it. And he was very proud of his house. That's the funny thing about it. He was very proud of his house. I'm proud of my house too, but I do a lot to maintain it and to keep it in good shape and to modernize it and everything. Instead, I do my streaming from an iPhone. And with Dragon Lord, it was vice versa. He had, as I said, several computers and all the modern equipment, but he lived in a litter box, practically. I wouldn't say he lived in a dump, but yeah, maybe he lived in a dump. And so, as I said, on the one hand, this house was falling apart in spite of him living there, or maybe because of him living there. And on the other side, he had these very high debts with electricity and water and everything. And so the city, or the community here, I think it's a community, yeah. I think they went to him one day and talked to him, because not only was this house an eyesore, but also Dragon Lord had immediate neighbors. If you talk all the time, you think he lives all alone on an island or so, but no, it's a small community, a little bit like the Swedish Bullaby from Astrid Lindgren. It's a very small community, but very closely knit and very together. The houses are all built together. Not very far apart, like in the US or in Sweden or so, but at one place. And so he had immediate neighbors. And as I said, his visitors, they grew more and more numerous. And the people were shouting, the Dragon Lord was shouting. The police had to come there all the time. Yeah, and they came with the blue light. Woo, woo, woo. And oh yeah, the Dragon Lord had an alarm system. An alarm system which functioned, I think, manually. Not automatically, which would be normal, but manually. So whenever the Dragon Lord saw some people passing by, be it real haters or be it just joggers or Nordic walkers, to his mind, all he stands all alone against billions of haters. So when he saw people passing by, he just manually put on the alarm system, and which has a very funny sound, like wee wee wee, like the very old alarm systems of the 60s and 70s. Very cute. Yeah, this was a laughing stock as well. This very special alarm system, but it was put to use. The Dragon Lord, whenever he saw people, as I said, innocent bystanders or real haters who wanted to get inside his property, which is of course not okay, but they tried it nevertheless, and sometimes they succeeded. Whenever he saw a living person, which was not a policeman or a policewoman, he put on the alarm system, and it made wee 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 all day and wee 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 all night. The poor neighbors. It's a rather elderly community, as far as I get. Young people go to the cities in South Germany or even abroad, and this little community in Middle Franconia is becoming older and older. The old people remain, the young people go away, except for Dragon Lord. He was a youngster of the community. But as I said, old people, they want to sleep, they want to have their peace and quiet. And his house and he himself, they were not only an eyesore, but an earsore as well. You heard him, you saw him, all the people, as I said, the visitors, the haters, they were loud, he was loud, the alarm system was loud, the police was loud. There was a pandemonium of sound. It's a cacophonia, day and night. And people tried, of course, to get, I can't put it politely, I have to put it bluntly, they wanted to get rid of him. They said, yeah, we can't talk to him. Whether we tried to talk to him, he said, no, you don't know what I'll be going through. They're all haters, they want to destroy my life, they want to destroy my future. And I don't even get a girlfriend, I can't get a girlfriend. I invited some girls, which is true, there are some videos, but they never stayed long because they're afraid of the haters and of the visitors. And yeah, so that's, I live all alone in this house. It's your fault, you're the haters' fault. I'm the Dragon Lord, I'm like God. Yes, and you tiny petty humans, you don't want to tell me what I'm going to do. So get thee gone and let me stay here and let me in peace. But peace was not to be had. I mean, if you say something like that to your neighbors, the neighbors go away and say, he's a little bit, he has some paranoia, to say the least. So they had some conventions amongst each other, so neighborhood meetings, and they said, okay, we have to get rid of this Drachenschanze, this dragon's lair, and its inhabitant, because otherwise our community will always be in unrest. And we are elderly, we're around 70, 80, we don't stand that anymore. And so the mayor, I guess, the mayor, I think she contacted the Dragon Lord and offered a deal to say, okay, we offer you this amount, I don't know the amount, 100,000 euro or something like that, a very good sum for a very rundown house in far off. Yeah, it's far off any big city. It's right in the woods, a very beautiful, idyllic place, a little bit like that I live in, but I live near Frankfurt. Yeah, in 20, 30 minutes you're in Frankfurt. And Dragon Lord lived in a place far away from any big city, let alone as big as Frankfurt. So it was really where fox and rabbit say good night to each other. Wo sich Fuchs und Hase gute Nacht sagen, very, very far off community. So 100,000, if the sum is true, I don't know, but it was talked about in the videos of his haters. It was a very good sum. Okay, the property is big, I must say that, yeah, that's true, but the house was totally run down. The shed, as I said, the roof caved in, was lost too. Then the courtyard, incredible. It was in a state Incredible. You won't believe it unless you see it. And so they said, we give you this and this sum, and then you can pay off all your debts, and then you can buy yourself with the rest of that, after the debts have been paid, you can buy yourself a nice apartment somewhere in the city, please not here in the surrounding, you go far away. You go to Nuremberg or to Fürth, or the bigger cities, not quite big, but bigger, okay, bigger than the community he lived in. You can go there and buy yourself an apartment or rent an apartment and reuse your property, we do something else with it. But you have the money, you have paid off debts, you're debt free, absolutely gorgeous, and we have our peace. For us, heavenly times will come when you're away. And no, they didn't say that, but they did mean that. And so, without further thinking, it was at that time he also was put on trial. I remember that. He was 2 times he was put on trial because he hit the haters. And there, yes, and he was even convicted, but he was free on parole. Yeah. Yes. I think if you're German, if you know better, just write it in the comments. But there's a lot of stories about the Dragon Lord on YouTube, especially on German YouTube, of course. So if you're interested, as I said, the channel Der Einzige, this guy, he has everything. But yeah, there were 2 trials, and the second trial was this February, I guess, this year. So we are now in 22, and Dragon Lord has, he's 32 at that time, 32, but a little bit behaving like a young man of 18 or 20. He doesn't think very far. He just lives for the moment. Nunc est bibendum. Yeah, it's here and there, and I live in the here and there. And of course, with such decisions as to sell your house, you have to consult your family, or I would do that. Consult the family. I would consult my husband. He doesn't have a wife, but maybe a girlfriend or so, and some of or his neighbors or his friends. But as I said, this development had taken such a bad turn that the Dragon Lord has no more friends. He has no more real friends. Online friends often turn out to be haters. They were just friendly to him, create informations out of him, and then they give the information to the hater community. So, okay, this friend then was a hater, obviously. There are some ladies who said, I'm interested in you and I feel so sorry for you because all the world hates you, but I don't hate you. I love you. You're so cute and you're my fluffy teddy bear, because he looks like one. As I said, he's quite massively built. And he was happy. He said, I have a girlfriend and she's interested in me. And then you guess the outcome. Of course, this lady was one of the hater community. She got some information or some videos and showed it, and okay, he lost that girl as well. So up to now, he doesn't have any friends in real life or on the internet. The internet friends are, I guess, they are no friends, but as I said, they are haters in disguise. In real life, he doesn't have any person who can consult him. But as I said earlier, it's impossible to consult a person who doesn't want to be consulted. If you want to help somebody, if you have good ideas, and if you want to explain it, and if you hear, no, I'm the Dragon Lord, I don't need your help, you're a hater, you don't want my good, you wish me bad things, go away. Of course, you go away. Yeah, you don't start any more discussions, you just go away. So in the end, the Dragon Lord is all alone and doesn't have anyone to consult with or to take refuge to. I think there was one lady in his neighborhood, they were in quite good terms, but I don't know what, it's an elderly lady. I think she's, of course, decades older than him, and she's married. So that's not a girlfriend, just maybe like a second mother to him. I don't know how their relations is, if he takes her advice at least. But I guess no, because as I said, the community came and offered to buy his house, and he said yes. Instead of consulting or even a lawyer, he has money. Yeah, so I pay some lawyer, some attorney to help me with this difficult question. No, he didn't do that, obviously, because he said, okay, I stay for the sum of 100,000 euro. You give me 100,000 euro for this property, which is, as I said, is quite large. Run down, yes, but large, and it's property value in real estate. What counts? What counts in that case? And I will rent a new apartment, or even buy an apartment, or maybe another house, but in some other city, and deal. And then and then he decided to buy a car, to buy a very, very big pickup car like you have in the US. It's, what had I then? A blue car, a Ranger, Ford Raptor, I don't know. I think a Ranger it was, yes. Very blue, very, I say, very grell und auffällig. Very conspicuous, big, bright blue car, a pickup. A pickup is a rare sight on German streets. It's more, Australia, USA, and so, they have them there. Germany, not quite, especially in that color and that model. Yeah, there are some pickups by other companies which are more commonly seen, but a bright blue, it was a beautiful blue, a Prussian blue, big Ford pickup, it's very unusual. And even if the Dragon Lord had not driven it, even I'm a fan of cars and of beautiful, conspicuous big cars. Even I would have looked. Of course, they would have said, "Oh, wow, what a car!" But okay, this car was very expensive. It was rather new, and I think he spent 40 or so thousand euro for that car alone. So, for of this 100,000 euro, he spent 40,000 for this car. So 60,000 were left. From the 60,000, he paid his debts, which is all okay, but the house was gone, and that I think was a kind of departure in this whole development, because this house, this Dragon's Lair, this Drachenschanze, belonged to him. Yeah, the Dragon Lord and his lair, they were a unity, not one without the other. And now the Dragon Lord, he lost his abode, he lost his house, his safety. It was gone. Instead, he now had this car. And he announced, I will use that car to make some travel videos. I will travel Germany and Europe. He wanted to go to Italy. I think he even was in Italy for a short time. And I will show every day. I will show you great videos of all the travels I make. And people said, okay, you said so many things in the past. Dragon Monday never came to be, but maybe this daily travel vlog will come into fruition. Who knows? Okay, safe journey, go ahead. So, and then he had this big, mighty car, and he lived in that car. He didn't buy or rent an apartment, nothing of that sort. He said, mind you, he never used the word Drachenschanze, he disliked it, but he said, my new house on wheels is this pickup, and I'm going to live in this pickup. And he even found a girlfriend, a lady who traveled with him in the first weeks or so, and then she separated, or he separated, there was a separation. After some weeks, the car was still there, but the lady was gone. And so he continued his travels, but of course, if you travel all alone, it's no fun. And so he just, I don't know, he made streams. And then, I forgot to mention about this paying system, because as I said, he had 400,000 subscribers on YouTube and several thousands on his other platforms. So of course there was money rolling in, but he wanted, of course, he wanted to earn more money. And also several years back, after the first visitors came to his then still standing house, he discovered in his live streams that people were taking pity of him. He said, oh, these haters, they come to visit me and they throw things at me and they drag me to court because I hurt them, and all my life is, as I said, is going to pieces because of the haters. And there were some people in the live streams who said, I'm going to support you. You have my pity and my sympathy. I will give you money. And people donated money for him, and because he said, yeah, not only the Dragon Lord, but I'm a Dragon Lord who is getting mobbed. And that was his big, I talk all the time and I forgot the big topic. I'm a little bit like him. I forgot the big topic, mobbing. He described himself as the embodiment of the poor person who is being mobbed, who is being treated unfair. He said that it started in kindergarten, in school, and his own family mobbed him, and everybody was unfair to him because he didn't learn as fast as the other children. He visited a special school, a Förderschule, a special school for children who are slow learners, not necessarily of low intelligence, but slow learners. And he was in one of those schools and had no other education. So, and he didn't search for other education, although the school has offered programs, but he didn't take part in any of these programs. He just got this paper, the document that he had visited the school, and then that was it. So I think he left school at around 16 or 17, and after that he wanted no further education. And the parents obviously didn't care, or knew whatever they say to their son, it's here, it's in, and there, it's out. So they resigned, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, so he said, I'm a former pupil of a Förderschule, and people hate me because I'm very big and because I'm not as intelligent as others, and because I attended the wrong school type in their eyes, and the community, yeah, they didn't pay me enough money. Afterwards, he discovered that the 100,000 euros was not much enough. Of course, he could have gotten much more for that property, but okay. So he said the community are haters and the visitors are haters and my teachers and my co-students in school and my family, they're all haters. They all hate me. Nobody likes me. And I'm the victim of a collective mobbing, a worldwide collective mobbing, so to say. And he discovered, the more he said that in his live streams or in his videos, or especially his live streams, the more people donated. They said, oh, there's this poor man and he's sitting in this derelict house. He doesn't have enough money to maintain it properly. And I'll give him 20 euro or 100 euro. There was even one person who gave him 500 euro, a rather famous German politician, obviously. So he was really cared for by all the people who said, oh, the poor guy. And he lived on these donations, a little bit like an internet beggar. Is an internet bettler. He has been called that too. I think it's a rather harsh term, but in the end, it's not. Es ist nicht verkehrt. It's not wrong. It's a person begging on the internet because, as I said later on, he had no content. He didn't do heavy metal imitations anymore. Or he didn't do headbanging videos anymore, or talk about God and the world anymore. He just talked about the haters. And yes, the haters, they phoned me and they smashed my windows, and I'm awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. They put me out of my sleep because they yelled in front of my yard. And so he talked endlessly about his haters and about how all the people hated him, even his former girlfriends and everybody. Even I think the mailman, because the mailman brought the bills. And so, yeah, as I said, there were a lot of people who were, of course, haters or critical of him or whatever. But the live streams also generated pity. Soft-hearted people who said, okay, let's help him. And it's funny to watch. I saw one live stream of him where he got large sums and he never said thank you. He just, of course, the live stream, here I have one viewer, thank you very much. But his live streams, they had about 100, 200 viewers, very, very many people. Of course, you see all the messages flitting through the screen. You cannot follow every message. I can, of course, but he couldn't with hundreds of people. No chance. But when you get money via YouTube donation system, this donation is marked. You see a color block, and your comment is extrapolated. You see it in a very conspicuous way. You see, aha, this and this person has this and this to say, there's a comment, and this person has donated such an amount. You see that, of course. And he never said, oh, thank you, what? You gave me 50 euro for the fight against mobbing. That's very nice of you, thank you. He never did that. He just went, you see from his eyes that he saw, of course, he saw the live chat, and he saw the donations, but he never mentioned it. When the live stream had ended, I don't know, some 100 euros he earned with that. At the very end, he said, and by the way, thank you. So if you gave 1 euro or 200 euro, didn't matter. He just looked, final result, let's say 500 euro, it's okay, I can stop my live stream now, I earned enough for today. So that's right. And the more he did that, the more his haters, they said, what is he doing now? Yeah, he's begging on the internet, and soft-hearted people, they spent their money. He had many minor viewers who paid their pocket money, or some of their pocket money for him, because they felt pity for him. And he said, yeah, I will spend the money for actions against mobbing, but he never did. So he did not found an association, German anti-mobbing association or something like that. There are associations, of course, already in existence, and he didn't help them either. So he didn't, as I said, he didn't spend it for an own battle against mobbing, and he didn't help other people or other associations in their fight against mobbing. So he just kept the money for himself, and he bought technical equipment. And after a while, of course, even his supporters, they saw, I gave my money, and the money is so to say, it's lost, because he doesn't commit himself to the anti-mobbing cause. He just spends the sum for his own well-being. Yeah. So that's it. And so, as I said, the house was sold. He had a car, the girlfriend had gone, but he still had the bright blue car. And he didn't, as I said, he was in Italy, I think someday, 1 week or so, he was in Italy. He visited some places near the place he lived, or where his old house was standing. And but nothing came of it. You got your daily streams, or almost daily streams, and he talked a lot about all the people hate me, and here I'm sitting on a parking lot next to the Autobahn so-and-so, and the people, they're looking at me. Oh, the people, they're looking at me. Psst, be quiet. They're talking about me. Then you listen very attentively, and then you hear some, judging from the voices, elderly people speaking Polish. And when I saw that, as I said, I'm new to this crazy phenomenon. So in the last few days, I watched all these videos, or try to watch them. And I watched that, and I speak some Russian, and of course understand the difference between Polish and Russian, and this was Polish. And believe me, people, this Polish elderly couple also, they did not talk about him. They just had I think she asked about something to drink or so. It was a normal talk you hear on the parking lots, next to Autobahn or so. Nothing special, but he was so, he felt, as I said, he feels like sitting in a hole and being hated by everyone around him. And I'm defenseless. I have my car and nothing else. Yeah, of course, his house was gone. And everybody attacks me and talks about me. And he was so in this paranoia that he thought these people were talking about him. He said, I have to move from this place. They have detected me. I have to go now. And so last thing you saw, he was going to his car and then driving away. And then there was a stream he made while driving. He was driving, as I said, a very big, a very fast car. And all the time, he just steering wheel like that. You saw he was looking in the iPhone, which was tagged to the cockpit or so. He hardly looked at the street. All the time he looked at the phone because there was a live stream. When I saw that, I thought, "Ooh, you still have the driver's license, dear friend." Oh, that's courageous. But as I heard then later on, the driver's license was taken away from him by the Führerscheinstelle. I don't know the English term for it. It's an institution which gives out driver's licenses, but also has the right to get them back. And maybe some people who follow his antics on the internet also saw this live stream and said, "Oh my goodness, yeah, this man, he's a danger. He cannot drive a car. Who gave him a driver's license in the first place? Look at him. He's on the Autobahn. He's driving rather fast. You see that? Yeah, all these villages are flitting by. And he's talking to his viewers online. I mean, while driving, as I said, crazy. Maybe that. Maybe he tried to hurt some people, some haters or so with this car. There must be a video where he's in his old habitat and driving on a meadow, because there are some people standing on the meadow and he thinks these are haters and tries to run them over. There must be a video. I've never seen it. I've read about it. Maybe something like this. Maybe he drove into a lantern post, or I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe he built a little accident with the car. Because after a while, as I said, had to give away his driving license. He can do a psychological test called the MPU in German, medizinisch-psychologische Untersuchung. It's a medical psychological test, and if you fail the test, most people do, it must be very, very difficult. If you fail the test, you can forget about your driving license. You will never get it back. And if you have good results, you get it back. But I've heard it must be very, very difficult, especially the psychological part, because you're being interviewed by a psychological, by a shrink, Psychologe, mein Gott, by a psychiatrist. Yes, you're being interviewed by them, and it's not easy. This MPU is quite expensive. I think 1,000 euro or so, all in all, together with the preparations and all that. And it's very difficult to pass the test. And they offered him to give back his license if he makes the MPU, and I think he refused or forgot about it. I think he forgets about these things a lot. And so, yeah, he didn't do anything to get back his driving license. And he still hasn't got one, no. But he had to sell the car, of course. I mean, of course, you can own a car, but without the license. But then, of course, the car is without plates, must be put to one place. And yeah, of course, you can do that. But what good will it do? Even the landlord knew that it would be of no use to have a useless car. So he sold that car. The house, meanwhile, had been torn down because it was so dilapidated. It was in such a bad state, as I mentioned earlier, that the community said, we cannot rent it, we cannot sell it. We have to make a tabula rasa with it. Totally, yeah, I think the little shed or so, the buildings, the side buildings are still standing, but the main house has been torn down. And it's a lost place. Maybe I should go there. I'm interested in lost places, but no, I'm interested in interesting lost places. That for me would not be interesting. But it's still as it is. I've heard that there are no projects from the side of the community to build something or to sell it or so. It's, as I said, the house has gone. The little buildings are more or less, they are standing there, and it's, yeah, the fence has been torn down. It's free now. And so he cannot go back there. Of course, the car has gone, and now he's sitting, now he reached today. He's still in this old community. He has come back. As I said, he was for a short time in Italy, in some other German cities, but he seems to be very attached to his birthplace because he stems from there. So the landlord is still in his old surroundings, but as he doesn't have a home, a car, nothing, he's sitting in a bakery. There is a bakery which is beautiful. It's I've seen pictures. It looks like there's these typical franchise bakeries, like Bäckerei Trapp or so. Die deutschen Zuschauer kennen das, eine Bäckerei Trapp. Die ist ja, glaube ich, bundesweit sogar vertreten. These are very nice. These franchise bakeries who also sell milk or something, food for everyday food, but minimum. Of course, they prioritize their croissants and bread and whatever. And as I said, that's a bakery. They have some food, some non-bakery food, and then they have like a restaurant. They have several tables, several chairs. They even have internet connection. They have sockets. Everything is there. The last thing I heard that this man is 33. Yeah, other people at 33, they have a family, they have a job, they have a home, a house. The bakery can be a home too, but you know what I mean. But no, he's sitting there and he's still, of course, he has this laptop now. He had to sell his big computers. One of these computers was confiscated by the police, I guess, because of some adult material, which is illegal. But I think it turned out that there are no illegal things on his computer. So I think they give it back. Hello, Sudu. Hello. Yes, it's fantastic. You think it's out of a movie? No, you don't visit Sudu. You can watch the rest later on. I will put it online, as always. Great to see you here, my dear. And yeah, it's really out of a movie. It's not from rags to riches, but it's from riches to rags, practically. And I don't know if he has any money left. I guess a little bit, yes. The community tries to help. I think they pay for hotels. So from time to time, he can live in a hotel or at least sleep there. And he was offered a home for homeless people. You know, these these are it sounds funny, a home for homeless people, but there is a possibility, at least in Germany, you have the possibility, if you are homeless, to live in a shelter, so to say. Yeah, you don't live there for all eternity. It's maybe for a week or so, and you get food there. And as I said, a clean sleeping place. They have showers and everything, and it's yeah. While you're looking for a steady home, you can live there. Diese Obdachlosenheime. But the Dragon Lord is the Dragon Lord, and he doesn't want to live there. Oh yeah, it's okay. Okay. Have fun with your party, Sudo. Hoch die Tassen. I drink to your health with the 2 kitties. Here's to you, my dear. Instant coffee. Ein Genuss für den Gaumen. The Dragon Lord has better coffee than I have. As I said, now he's in the bakery. Yes, I'm drinking cats. Right, Sudu. Yeah, as I said, he refused the offer by the government to live in an Obdachlosenheim because he said, no, I'm the Dragon Lord, I don't live there. So, he still is very, very convinced of himself. You see the rather recent streams where he rants endlessly about his haters, and everything is a hater. By now, even Olaf Scholz, our German Chancellor, he's a hater, and the community government, of course, is hater. Everybody is hater, but not the bakery he's in. I hope not for him that he's found some friends, maybe. So he can eat there, he can drink there. He must have some money left, of course, if you eat and drink every day in a bakery. Yeah, I'm very happy for you, Sudu. I've seen that. So you must do a lot of community posts. I'm very happy, and you must put always a pleasure, my dear. You must do a lot of community posts about Rover. Promise to bring more about Rover. I miss Rover videos and photos. You must do that. And yeah, I will now come to an end, of course. I can't talk endlessly. But this phenomenon is so, I think it's internationally unique. Any of my international, especially US viewers, are maybe reminded of Chris Chan, who was a US American YouTuber, and who's now in in mental care. He's in the mental institution, this man. He got so mad in the end. But there are similarities, absolutely. But I guess this Chris Chan, this is YouTube name, I don't know his real name. I think he was even more far gone than the Dragon Lord. He was really, this unappetizing story with his mother and so on. Everything had happened. Yeah. While I was watching these Dragon Lord videos, there were some commentators who said, this reminds me of Chris Chan. And I've never heard of that man before, so I Googled him and I found some material and some background information, which was very unappetizing, especially the recent development in the last 2 or 3 years. This man is really mentally sick. He has a mental problem and he's being treated, as far as I know. So this seems to be a rather heavy case. I think he even has borderline syndrome or something. It's really, as I said, a mental illness. With the Dragon Lord, in my opinion, but not very much into this, not as much as these haters, but they know much more. But I think, yes, he's a little bit of paranoia. But then, okay, my grandfather, you can say he had paranoia too, because he always had a bunch of keys and he was locking everything in his house. And when I came from work, our front door had 3 locks, and then the entry door inside had another 2 locks. And then he was sitting in the sitting room where I'm sitting now. But back then the living room looked totally different, of course. And this room has 2 doors. They were also locked. So I said, oh my God, Granddad, whenever I want to see you, I have to open 10 locks or so. Yeah, it's such a big house. And we had an alarm system, everything, even 30 years back. But okay, Granddad, he was always afraid some burglars or murderers or whoever comes around. And so he had really this paranoia, especially at night. We have to lock everything up. My grandma, she just went, yeah, like the emoji. Oh. But she let it be. She just said, "You're crazy," and that was it. And in other ways, he was totally normal. So my granddad, he had a very nice and interesting job. He had a big, he really had a fan community, you would say today. But back then, of course, it was real life friends. This house always was full of people coming and going, and a big family, of course, and so on. So he was with two legs. He was in the here and now, in this life. And my grandma didn't. No, she went away. She left the room. No, she didn't leave. My grandparents were married for 60 years. They died within 6 weeks. So after my grandmother died in 2005, 6 weeks later, my grandfather died. And so it's fine. My grandfather was 86 at that time, and my grandmother 94. Yeah, she was older. That you didn't see that. She always looked younger, and he looked a little bit older. And so no, they were, for decades, they were like lovebirds. And but when my grandfather began his rants about being robbed and killed, that's why downstairs there were locks everywhere. My parents lived upstairs. There was one lock at the entry door. That was it. But here, as I said, we had 10. And so whenever my grandfather started with all the people who wanted to rob him, she just left, but not him, but she left the room and said, "Okay, go on. Talk to her later." And I said, no, I know all that. And so that you can say my grandfather had this little wave of paranoia walking through his head, especially at night. But that was it. And in all other aspects, he was totally sane. No problem. But with the Dragon Lord, I think it's a little bit more. I think he really has this paranoia of saying, everybody hates me, I'm being mobbed, I'm all alone in Germany, nobody helps me. But I have to deal with it on my own. Yeah, of course, as I said, he refused every help. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. And all the people hate me, and they want to destroy me, they want to destroy my life, they wanted to destroy my family's life. And so it's really, you get really from year to year, when you follow his career, you would see that he has a kind of tunnel side. Yeah, he starts with his videos and he has a very broad side, but after a while, the tunnel, it gets closer and closer, and at the end, he only sees haters. Police is a hater, because they didn't come often enough to talk to the visitors. He even said, every person who is critical of me and who insults me must be put into jail, but they don't do their job, they don't do it. This police is, and then they even call them names in his live streams. And he gave out their real names, which is no real names. As I said, the own name and the own address should be a no-go too, especially the own address. Okay, the own name, you all know my first name is Helena, so that's okay. But you never give away names, other people's names on the internet, especially not policemen or government inspectors or whatever. It's a big no-go, but he did that. He was so enraged that he said, they hate me and they hate me too, and the policeman, Mr. So-and-so, and the mayor, Mrs. So-and-so, all the people. They all got named. Which is a problem too, because then they said, Mr. So-and-so, you mustn't do that. It's, don't tell me what I have to do. I'm the Dragon Lord. The Dragon Lord without the lair. As I said, he's now sitting in a bakery at night in some hotel or other, or maybe with the elderly neighbor I mentioned earlier. the lady who still is on good terms with him, obviously, and that's it. And the newest news which I heard at the end of my research was that Netflix, or a company working for Netflix, is very interested in his case. Obviously, they sense the Christian vibes, which I mentioned earlier, and they have, of course, Netflix. It's a young public, or youngish public. They have, of course, a knack for internet phenomena gone wrong. If you see the Netflix programs or the series they have, of course, they have this. It's an all-time go serial killers. They have Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and Gacy and all these people, Manson. They have a very good, by the way, they're very good series about them, but also about people who are not as criminal as them, but just like internet cheaters, like this young Russian German lady who said she's some descendant of the Rockefeller family. This lady, I don't know. She has a serial. Then the Tinder cheater, a young man who cheated ladies out of their money on Tinder. He has got a serial. So all these internet phenomena, they also get huge attention from Netflix and their viewers, of course. And obviously, as I said, this development takes place for about 10, 11 years now, has reached the ears and the minds of some Netflix responsibles. Who said the Dragon Lord? That would be an interesting story for our platform, for our channel. Why not? Why not do a serial on the Dragon Lord? Which, of course, I can fully understand. It's like out of a movie. If I saw that in a movie, I would say, okay. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, my friend. Nice to have you here. Dankeschön. And so, obviously, I think, we can make money with that. And of course, the Dragon Lord would get also money. It's his life story, which has not told to an end. The man is still alive and well and kicking. So he's not sick or something like Christian is, but for the moment, he doesn't put out any more streams because he lost his YouTube account. YouTube banned him. I don't know, permanently, I guess not permanently, but for the time being, he's banned from YouTube because he had a YouTube ban. He had several YouTube bans, but the news ban, he didn't wait for it to be de-banned, so to say. He just streamed from his other account. He had 2 or 3 YouTube accounts. His big YouTube account was put down, and so he streamed from another of his accounts. And so he sidewinded the system, which YouTube didn't like, which I think no platform likes, TikTok or so. I think TikTok is more liberal, but YouTube is very, they don't love it. Yeah, if they say, okay, you're banned for 1 week or 2, and then you stream and you put out videos on another account, not a stranger's account, but your account, because you have 2 or 3, it's something that YouTube doesn't like. And so all his accounts were banned from YouTube. I don't know if forever or maybe some months, I don't know. But for the time being, he's mainly active on TikTok, I guess. Of course, you don't earn as much money on TikTok as on YouTube. Yeah, and TikTok is a very, very young public. Teenagers or people in the very, very early 20s, maximum age is maybe 25, 26, I guess. So, as I said, TikTok viewers of 15 or 16, they are not interested in their eyes, old German of 33 years who's constantly raging about his haters. They're too young to know the story. They just see that. And these very boring live streams where he said, these haters, they're haters, and nobody helps me. And so, these live streams go on for 1 hour or so. And Of course, there are still people who are very generous and say, let's help him, let's give him 10 euro or so, but it's not the amount he earned during his YouTube time. Of course not. And of the young people, they say, as I said, this boring old man, I don't want to watch him. I will switch to, what do we have here? Adele has put out another video. Yes, I will look at that. And so Dragonlord is forgotten. He's too old for the TikTok generation. And he's old enough, or he would be old enough for the YouTube generation, but he's banned at the moment, for the moment at least. And so he doesn't earn money anymore. TikTok, as I said, obviously it's not enough money. YouTube, he has bans. I think 2 or 3 other platforms he had also are lost, either because the platform doesn't exist anymore or because they banned him too. And he sees, of course, he sees all the bans as mobbing. And so YouTube is a mobber, and TikTok is an aspiring mobber because doesn't earn enough money there. And all the other platforms are mobbers, so he's constantly mobbed. And he lives, as I said, he has this tunnel site now. He lives in this very, very hermetic place. He's holed in practically. And in his bakery, and he's eating and drinking there all day, I guess, and at night. Sudo, I wish you a wonderful party. Have fun there. See you soon. See you in 2 weeks live. And beforehand in my videos. Bye-bye, my dear. So he, as I said, he's sitting there and drinking and eating all day long. At night he goes, I guess, to a hotel or to the neighbor, and he's doing nothing. But I think he is so interested in showing himself publicly. Dankeschön, das ist lieb von dir, Sudo. Dankeschön. And he's so enjoying his role as a victim. As I said, I never encountered such a phenomenon as this man. I must really say that. On the one hand, he says, I'm being hated. Everyone hates me. If I have that feeling that my surroundings, that everybody hates me, first I'd go to the psychiatrist to get some consultation. And and then I would delete all my accounts, my whatever I have, Twitter, so YouTube, everything would be deleted. And then from then on, only real life for me. So that would be it. If I were in this position where I think all the surroundings hate me, I would withdraw. I would, as I said, retire from the internet, try to find some good friends in real life, and that's it. So that I don't give any cause for hatred or for mobbing or whatever. But in his case, so the Dragonlord says, everybody hates me and everybody mobs me, but he keeps on streaming and showing himself in the internet. So that's why these many streams and these videos on these many platforms and these many accounts. As I said, he had several accounts on YouTube because I think he likes to see his face on internet and to hear his own rants. He enjoys that highly, and but he's the only one who enjoys it. All the other people, they say, "Oh God, what is he doing now?" But it's like an addiction that he has to be on the internet. He's addicted to the internet. He's addicted to showing himself, to be very outgoing, so extrovert. I think that's his problem. On the other hand, he's an introvert because he doesn't want to do anything with other people because they all hate him. So he has these two totally black and white, these totally opposite character traits, which makes it difficult. Maybe he should go to a doctor, to a psychiatrist. I say that in all earnestness. maybe a psychiatrist who offers him advice, maybe he takes that advice. If he doesn't take any other tips or info, so maybe from a doctor. I don't know, because it's not. He cannot live the rest of his life sitting in a bakery. So, after a while, he will turn into old bread himself and develop black mold on his body, like a Stephen King character. Yeah, it reminds me of Stephen King characters, by the way. There's, these crude stories of hillbillies discovering meteorites and then turning into grass balls and so. So if you read the stories, it reminds me a little bit of him. He has a hillbilly trait, absolutely, and he is very thick-headed and has his own opinion. And I will do that. And now that I found this glowing meteorite, yes, I will. Yeah, all the others say, don't touch it, it's dangerous. I will carry it into my house. Nothing bad will happen because I'm sturdy, I'm of good stock. Nothing will happen to me. So he really has this character, this hillbilly character. Yeah, now that I think, it's very true. So he is a Stephen King character. But Stephen King, of course, is fiction. You laugh it off and you say, "Ooh, it's horror." But after that, after the last page or after the last movie sequence, it's over. But with Dragonlord, it goes on, and it's in real life. You don't have a fictional character. You have a person of flesh and blood and many fat cells sitting there and brooding over his destiny and maybe over his future too. But I mentioned before, I think the Dragonlord lives in the here and now, doesn't think of the days and weeks and even years to come. So I think he's brooding over his next croissant or coffee in the bakery. He seems to still have internet because, of course, the haters visit him there. They made photos where he's sitting with his open laptop and watching movies or whatever. Maybe making the deal with Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is interested, or at least the company working for Netflix. They try to sell them the Dragonlord stuff. Maybe they're successful. And maybe he will earn something for his life story. And maybe he has enough intelligence then to say, okay, I won't spend the money for technical knickknacks, but I will take the money and buy a psychiatrist for psychiatrist advice. That would be the best way to invest his money if the Netflix money comes rolling in. If this project will take shape, we will see in the future. But it would be, as I said, it's not as sick as this Christian story, but it would be quite a story too. I omitted so many things. Oh God. oh. I wanted to do a short live stream and now I'm talking. I will, 108 minutes. Oh my goodness. But I omitted so many things. If I told you all the things that I've read, especially, as I said, among this hater community, there are so many things mentioned there, which of course, I don't know if they're true. If they're true, it would be a whopper. I would still sit there at midnight and talk to you. That would be absolutely crazy. But really. So if you're German or German speaking and or interested in German culture and understand some German, just look for Drachenlord. It's really worth it. It's worthwhile. It's the entertainment factor is huge. I must say at that point when I started digging these things up, I felt pity for him. I said, oh God, that poor man, he's not so intelligent, so just leave him alone. And don't bully him. I wouldn't say mobbing, but maybe bullying would be the right word. Don't bully him, let him live his life, it's all okay. But please, tone it down, guys and dolls. Yeah, that was my first reaction. And the more I fell into the rabbit hole, the more I thought, who is this Dragon Lord? It's but he's not quite as innocent as it seems. Yeah, and a good deal of his now precarious situation he owes to his stubbornness, to his stubborn and headstrong character, and which doesn't go hand in hand with a low intelligence or so. It's absolutely not. Yeah. People already said, the haters, they said, oh, we hope for a very strong and very cold German winter. So if he gets thrown out of hotels and if he doesn't, if he isn't allowed to sit at the bakery anymore, so he has to sleep in the woods, and then he would freeze. And oh my God! And people make jokes about that. Of course, for the person, for him himself, it's a tragedy. Of course, it is. But on the other hand, he made so many bad decisions. Not so many here, but I think he only made bad decisions since his father died and bequeathed him the house. Yeah, it was a starting point for the downward spiral, I guess. Yeah, because all the decisions he made, all on his own, because as I said, he accepted no advice, they were bad. Yeah, and I hope the Netflix deal will put him back in business. Hello, Johnny Chung. Hello, Johnny Chung. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And we'll put him back into business so the Dragon Lord has some money, which he, I hope, will spend wisely. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid maybe in a year or so I will sit here and talk about the Dragon Lord and how he sits in a butchery. Meanwhile, not in a bakery, but in a butchery, or in a cafe, or I don't know what will happen. They call it the German community around this phenomenon. They call this the Drachen game, the dragon's game. Of course, the Drachen is the Dragon Lord himself, the dragon, and the game is a story. So instead of saying, the story of Christian or the story of whoever, or the story of Esmongold, to cite somebody who is normal, that they don't say that. They don't say the Dragon Lord story of the dragons, they say the dragon game, the Drachen game. And they say it's a toxic game. Don't be in the game too deep. It will be hurtful. So no, I won't. As I said, it's just, for me, it's just entertainment. And as I also said, for the Dragon Lord himself, it is a personal tragedy. But the tragedy is not due to his so-called haters. It's his own life decisions he made. And so what's more there to say? Jetzt wisst ihr alles über die Drachenschanze und den ehemaligen Bewohner. Now you know everything about the Dragon's Lair and its former inhabitant. And the good friend who gave the Dragon's Lair house model to me, she's deeper into that game. She's part of that community, but not very deep inside, but from time to time she writes some comments and comments back and so on. And she knows all about the reactors in this dragon game, and she wanted to pull my leg. She knows I'm very much into lost places, and I like, for years and for years I've said, I want to build the Titanic. The Titanic is still in the attic, I still haven't built it. And I want to build, I have a huge, as I mentioned earlier, large Christmas village scenery, but it's already bought. Yeah, it's made by Lemax and other companies, and I always wanted to build a little house on my own. I never did it, and so she said, obviously, I killed 2 flies with one spot. She likes lots of places. She wants to build a miniature house, so I will give her the Dragon's Lair. That was behind her intention. And she enjoyed my first video when I built this Dragon Slayer. She enjoyed it very much, she said, because you, totally innocent, a totally innocent woman who doesn't know anything about the dragon game or about the dragon lord or the dragon Monday, whatever. And she's presented with that gift and puts it together and tries to make a rhyme out of the strange package advertisement and the instructions. She said, it's so funny to see you trying to get sense of Drachenschanze and ready for self-destruction. And of course, I didn't know it then, what it was all about, but now I know it. So the house I built was the former Drachenschanze, the dragon's lair, and on the package it says ready for self-destruction, because practically the dragon destroyed his own lair. So the house destroyed itself in a metaphysical sense. And now I know all the little hints and innuations on the package. I know what it's about. This lady, she's really crazy. And she liked my second video too, where I make the Christmas cottage out of the old Drachenschanze to give it a second life. And I can recommend it to you. If you're into building Christmas houses, you can watch my video. It's called, I think, Simply Building a Christmas House or so. It's yesterday I put it online. And okay, so she didn't tell me much else. That's why I had to play Miss Marple and Google my knowledge. And now I'm a little bit more into this dragon game. But I won't go any further. I have given you more details than I wanted, because as you see maybe from my grinning face, it's really hilarious. Not for the main person, of course, but for the bubble, for the surrounding, for the game, for the gamers. And yeah, I've talked so much, and I think I'm going to end this stream now. I hope you enjoyed all the detailed background info of my Christmas cottage. And I hope you have a wonderful Halloween tomorrow, the day of, or rather the night of trick and treat. I wish you a very sweet and not at all sour Halloween. And stay happy and healthy, my friends. Thank you so much for viewing. Also, thank you very much for my guests. I have now 3 guests, but yeah, 4 really. I have to put an end now because I'm talking and talking. And yeah, it gets dark outside. I wish you, as I said, a wonderful Halloween, a wonderful upcoming week. Stay happy, stay healthy. Big hugs from me. And I will, as usual, I will pick up an animal. There's no animal around me. To say thank you very much, Tranquil. I'm very happy to hear that. But I will get a pet. I will get a pet. And say goodbye in a second. So, jetzt muss ich aber erstmal ein Tierchen finden. Oh, ja. So, thank you for waiting. And now, matching my sweater color is Tommy. Oh, now he is Tommy. He was fast asleep, the poor guy. Yeah, but it's custom that you see one of my pets in each video. I'm very thankful for your comment. Thank you so much, Tranquil. And now, before Tommy hacks me to pieces, yeah, I will let him go. I will say bye-bye. Thank you very much for your lovely comments and for your support, my dears. Till next time, alles Gute. Tschüss.